Takeaway number 1. Men of actions are favored by goddess of luck. Most people, when seeing other successful persons such as Abba, Zlatan, or Carl 16, attribute it all to luck. They come up with all kind of excuses for why they are not in the same position as these forementioned people, such as, well, these have talents, they met the right people at the right time, or they were born into it. While this might be the case of some successful people, like, it's certainly not for the large majority of them. What just brings them all together, though, is that they have been taking actions. Picture this: a procrastinator or doer is faced with opportunities. Let's say, for simplicity, that they are faced with same amount of opportunities. The chance of succeeding when taking in opportunities can be manipulated by a small degree. So in this way, the procrastinator and a doer have the same chance to do thrive. What separates them though is the number of opportunities that they try out. The procrastinator will always come up with excuses. I don't feel good today. I actually had a rough day on work. No, the stars are not aligned today. Meanwhile, the doer tries it out and takes many of the opportunities given to him. Therefore, the chances that the doer will be lucky and succeed at the some point is the way higher than that of the procrastinator. But it has nothing to do with luck and everything to do with actions. Takeaway number 2. Pay yourself first. I am on the road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep, and so will you, but all earned was mine to keep. Is it not? Far from it. Do you not pay the garment maker? Do you not pay the sandal maker? Do you not pay for the things that you eat? What have you to show for your earnings of part month? What for past year, fool? You pay to everyone but yourself, as well as be a slave and work for what your master gives you to each and wear. It's a powerful analogy to see every expense you have as you slaving for someone else. If your net income is $2,000 per month and you pay, say, $1,000 bucks in rent, you effectively locking 20 hours a week for your landlord. Well, in India, that it at least where a normal working week is about 40 hours. Think of it this way and it will be much easier to handle your craving for spending. In the book, it was suggested that once you get your salary, before any other expenditure, pay yourself 1/10 of that amount. This way, you make sure that you always earn money for yourself before slaving for others. Takeaway number 3. Wealth is not a matter of income. Yesterday, how many of the Takeaway number 3. Wealth is not a matter of income. Yesterday, how many of you carried lean purses? All of us answered the class yes, though. Do not all earn the same. Some earn much more than others. Some have much larger families to support. Yet all purses were equally lean. Now I will tell an unusual truth about men and sons of men. It is this, that what each of us call our necessary expenses will always grow to equal our income unless we protest to the contrary. I know a lot of smart people that earn good money, yet they have nothing to show for in their bank accounts. Every time they get an increase in salary, they increase their spending with the same amount. They have more Spotify accounts than they have friends, and piles of furniture from IKEA that will never be assembled, always keeping up with the Jones. This is foolish in so many ways, primarily because it's huge risk taking, which in turn cause you to be completely handcuffed and tied to your current job. If you don't get that salary every month, what is then going to happen to your boat, your house, and your car? Now, when your boss tells you to go and clean the toilet for the third time during the afternoon, you want to tell him go to fuck yourself. But then you think about the boat, the house, and the car. And instead you say, yes, sir, that would be lovely right away. I will clean it, sir. I am doing it. No matter who you are or what your degree is, everyone must obey under the law of income minus expenditure equals to saving. No matter if you are an engineer, and McDonald crew member or Floyd Mayweather. Takeaway number 4. Act when the time is right. If you had done a thorough analysis and asked your friend and family about possible shortcomings in your research, don't be afraid to act on it. Great opportunities are rare and should never be missed out on. For personal finance and investing, such opportunities sometimes means that you must cut your expenditure a little more than usual. For instance, during the financial crisis and the following collapse of the stock market in 2008 and 2009, such opportunities emerged. For those who were willing to increase their saving and investing during the time, great profit were to come. Takeaway number 5. The power of passive income. Once you start to obey under rule number 1, pay yourself first, you will accumulate a lot of cash over time. While this will feel good all of its own, there's something even better to come as soon as possible. You should start to put your hard earned money to work. The good thing about money is that, unlike yourself, it never has to rest. Your money will work for life or for you while you go to class, while you hang out at the gym, and even while you are sleeping. It's a modern day slavery, and best of all, it's 100% legal. This is what people like to prefer to as passive income. If you decide to keep your slaves, they will breed. Even the kids will breed eventually. This will cause your money to grow exponentially. The good thing about exponential is that they multiply over time and earning money become easier and easier and easier. To sum it all up, takeaway number 1 is to pay yourself first. Takeaway number 2 is that men of actions are more likely to be lucky in the long run. Takeaway number 3 is that wealth is a function where expense is the most important factor, not income. The fourth advice from the book is that take actions when the time is right. And the takeaway number 5 is that the power of passive income and exponential income.